Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to be taking a look at Ruthless Evil Fusion Coolieza, which is actually a pretty interesting unit. He's pretty interesting. A lot of people have obviously started using him a lot because he pairs pretty well with Cooler and he fits under his 200% lead. So I thought we'd take a look at him at 55%. I actually can rainbow him, but we'll take a look at him at 55%, and then if you guys are interested, I'll do a review at 100% or rainbow. But yeah, basically Coolieza, pretty solid unit. He is a strength leader of 100%, but that's not so important. The most important thing is he greatly raises attack and raises defense on his super attack. He has attack and defense of 120% when performing a super attack. He has a high chance of launching an additional super attack. He also has a chance of performing a critical hit plus 10% with each super attack performed. And he's got Fusion or Wicked Bloodlines category, extreme class allies, attack and defense of plus 30%. So the reason why this guy is seeing a lot of kind of hype right now is obviously that he shares a couple links with Cooler, but he also fits under that 200% leader skill, and just in general he looks like a really solid unit. So his link skills are Universe's most malevolent, strongest clan in space, thirst for conquest, fear and faith, fused fighter, metamorphosis, and shattering the limit. But he shares Universe's most malevolent, strongest clan in space, thirst for conquest, and metamorphosis with Cooler, which means if you run him with Cooler, not only are you getting 25% attack and defense with 5% health recovery, but you're also getting the plus 30% attack and defense from Coolieza himself, which means, generally speaking, you are getting a pretty solid addition. You're basically getting a unit that shares big bad bosses with Cooler as well, which is obviously super duper solid. Then you've got Fusion, Transformation Boost, Wicked Bloodline, Terrifying Conquerors, Crossover, and Fused Fighters. Obviously Coolieza is on Transformation Boost and Terrifying Conquerors, which means he's a pretty solid choice under Cooler's lead skill. Now this guy is really solid. Just remember, he's not a first slot unit. He has 120% attack and defense when performing a super attack. So he gains a lot of his defense, well, all of his defense, pretty much obviously on super. So realistically speaking, he's going to be a lot better in terms of performance when you obviously factor in that he is going to really increase that defense. He shares 5 links with this Frieza. You can see his defense is sitting around 80k. After these super attacks, that's going to be before factoring in the raising defense. That's going to be around the 150k mark, which is pretty solid. Obviously it's really great from a Coolieza point of view, but he looks really good overall because he has plus 10% attack and defense. Because he has plus 10% attack critical chance attack. Because he has plus 10% critical chance every single super. There's no real need to build him into crit. You can. Generally speaking, I would prioritize additionals. You can get this guy to basically fire off 2 or 3 super attacks per turn, which is pretty solid if you go for a full additional build, and each of those super attacks will have a 30% chance to crit, which is again pretty solid as well. So Coolieza looking really good so far. Obviously at 55% you're not going to see exactly the same kind of unit other people would see. But remember, when you are at max, you do get another 2,800 defense. So you can already see his defense shoot up quite a bit. Already it's up to 85. And yeah, he's looking pretty solid overall. Personally speaking, I think he's great as a unit. I really have always liked this guy. He's a good floating option for a Terrifying Conquerors team. He's not the kind of unit that you're going to want to have pair up with anyone really, but he's a great unit for the Terrifying Conquerors team. 26 million as his attack stat, followed up closely by one that's close to 3 mil. And yeah, again, he's just a super duper solid unit from that perspective. Link leveling helps this guy out a lot as well. Universe's most malevolent gives him 5% attack, strongest clan in space, debuffs enemy by 10%, Thirst for Conquest gives him 15% defense. Metamorphosis also gives him 10% defense. Fear and Faith gives him another minus 10% to enemies' defense. Fuse Fighter gives him 5% attack and defense. And Sharing the Limit gives him some pretty decent abilities as well. Now obviously Sharing the Limit is probably going to be the hardest one to get, just because it is I wouldn't say he's at his best on a Fuse Fighters team. He does obviously give support to a Fuse Fighters team, and you can run him alongside some other units, maybe some other DB Heroes units. Him and Jinembu make a pretty fun kind of combination that you can run. But yeah, for the most part, honestly speaking, I think he's best on a Terrifying Conquerors team. I think a lot of people are realizing that now with the way his link set works. Yeah, you can link him with Jinembu if you really want. You would get Fuse Fighter and Sharing the Limit. Obviously both of them are incredibly powerful units that do a lot of damage, can stack as well, so they are effectively a very strong combination. However, personally I think you are better off running him under a Terrifying Conquerors Wicked Bloodlines kind of hybrid team build. But yeah, if you do have this guy and you did recently pick up the LR Strength Cooler, you're going to be seeing a pretty good time out of him. And even if you don't, if you are looking for a unit to really flesh out your Wicked Bloodlines teams or Terrifying Conquerors teams, I think this guy is definitely it. Now you can use him on any team because of the way his passive works. He pretty much caters for a lot of units on any of his teams, but generally speaking, I find that he works best on the Terrifying Conquerors team, because of the fact that you can relatively easily get Thirst for Conquest and Metamorphosis on those teams, which is obviously great. As you can see, he's got a lot of options here. Baby is one, which is something of interest for future. Rildo is also one. Both of them are on Terrifying Conquerors. So yeah, you do have a very decent kind of selection of units. Lord Slugs also kind of fit underneath here, Demon King Piccolos. But if you really want to boil down to it, you're mainly looking at cooler units, you're looking at freezer units, and yeah, generally those are obviously who he's going to link well with, because he's a fusion of both of them. He's a combination of cooler and of freezer, hence the name Coolieza. But yeah, I think he's a really good unit, and I really think he's worth the investment. But yeah, that's it for me. Just a quick review of him at 55%. Let me know if you guys want to see the one at 100%. But yeah, I'll definitely be seeing you guys in the next video. So until then, take care, stay safe, and bye.